Hello and welcome back to the Tales from the Age of Men. And, well, we're gonna execute some people. Yeah, we're gonna just continue along that path because at this point, there basically is no other way. We could, try to let these guys go, but then what is actually gonna happen from that? I mean, really, from a realistic standpoint, what's actually going to happen? We're going to gain some experience with charm skill. Obviously, we're going to gain some relation with them, and we're obviously then going to release relatively powerful opponents back into the wild, and they're going to then be able to attack us again in short order. So, yeah, it's not looking particularly good, is it? No, not looking particularly good. However, we are not doing too badly, considering we had to create our faction in a bit of a rush, to be honest. And Theoden, well, despite the fact that I actually really like this guy, and generally I would not like to execute him normally, I'm going to do this just because we're playing, that's what we're doing. We're playing that kind of character. That's the kind of thing that I think that Uruks would probably do in this situation. And so that's what we're going to go for. Let's do it. There we go. And obviously someone else takes over, which makes sense, of course. But that's okay because he had, most likely had a load of influence and everything, and obviously his influence is going to get transferred over and all that stuff, but he's obviously going to be personally a very good character to have leading armies for the opponent. But now that he's been eliminated, hopefully that is not going to be the case. So I'm going to save and exit here, and I'll be right back. Alright, so apart from that, what we're going to do is obviously we're going to try and eliminate the walls. I've already built 2 trebuchets and we just need another 2, and then we'll be able to start bombarding them. Now, one thing we have to bear in mind here is that, of course, because the amount of food these guys have is enormous. It's actually crazy. And I'm actually really surprised that they have so many. I don't actually know why that is. I guess it's because the villages nearby have loads of production or something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but they are really amazing. And what I'm actually hoping will happen here is I'm hoping basically what we're doing right now is we're kind of acting as a bit of an increased distraction for Rohan itself. Because of course, if you think about it, think about the greater war that we have, in the world at large right now, right? Think about it. What do we have to do here? Well, technically, Mordor and Isengard and all the forces of evil, they have to achieve victory, right? They have to win. So how do they win? Well, they eliminate, the good factions in the game. Yes, I know. You know this. I know this. Everyone knows this. However, how do you get to that point? That's the point, right? That's the actual deal here. How do you get to that momentous occasion of victory? Well, the only way to get to that point is, as you might have expected, trying very hard in separating the opponent from what they really want to do. So, in other words, distracting them, diverting their attention, making them focus on things that they do not want to focus on. And I'm talking about, for example, here. Look at where I am right now. Look at my positioning. I am all the way, obviously I can't actually zoom out right now, unfortunately. Bannerlord limitations and everything. Can't actually do that right here, which is a very sad thing indeed. But anyway, the point is, I'm going to show you where I am on the map. You probably already know where I am on the map if you're familiar with, Lord of the Rings geography and all that stuff. But yeah, anyway, the point is, me being up here either gives me free reign to do whatever I want to do, because the enemy is going to be stubborn. They're going to be extremely busy because, let's face it, they're probably not going to want to come up here and try to stop us, because if they do, they're pulling vital forces from the front line away from that in an attempt to try and defend against a singular vassal and an extremely small and, well, I mean, let's face it, unimportant faction. Yes, the Forces of Darkness are not actually considered a very important faction. I know. Absolute travesty, isn't it? But that is the reality of the situation. So we're just going to have to do things a little bit more, you know, a little bit more deviously than we would normally, I suppose. Although maybe actually no, maybe not. I don't know. Deviousness is kind of our thing, isn't it? I mean, I do actually appreciate doing this kind of thing. I'm just going to eliminate that guy. I am being shot to high heavens here, but I am actually trying to get these gates open. There we go. Okay, that is very, very nice. You guys are just going to have to do that. Can I get on my walk? Oh, yes, I can. Okay, so I'm just going to put my walk around about here. Not sure if they're going to close the gates. They are. Oh no, my warg, oh no. Oh, that's bad. I was kind of hoping that my warg would stay there and just block them from closing the door, but that doesn't appear to be the case. Oh, that's sad. Oh well, never mind. That's just how it goes. Oh, nice hit. Okay, so I'm kind of hoping that in this episode, we'll be able to get to 200 athletics. I'm actually kind of surprised that the guy's shield hasn't been destroyed. There we go. It's finally been destroyed. Very, very surprised that it took so long for that to happen, but there you go. I guess that's how it goes, you know. This is how it happens. And you can see here that our forces are, yeah, they're actually doing pretty well at this point, but bear in mind, obviously, we have to deal with an insane number of archers, and I can just be thankful that our forces have shields. I do not have a shield, of course, so it is going to be a little bit difficult for me to actually get in there and do some damage. Which is definitely going to make things a bit more complicated than they would be otherwise. Oh, no. Don't jump in there, you absolute imbecile. Why am I doing this? I don't know, but I would like to get some kills, so let's do that. There we go. We're getting some nice kills. We're getting some nice experience. Come on now. I need that 200th point in athletics so that I can finally level up my vigor to 7. That is what we need. I mean, technically, we don't even need that because two-handed skill is, well, officially maxed out once you get to 250. So you don't necessarily need 275. So basically, going for 7 attribute points is not actually required or anything like that. But you know, it's nice. It's nice to have that. But I guess you don't have to if you don't want to. And there you go. There's the inevitable death. Are we actually going to win this? I think we might. My forces are looking reasonably okay. A little bit worried about the fact that we are getting outnumbered slightly here. No, I think we might be all right. We are suffering some pretty hefty casualties when the enemy gets reinforcements, because obviously the reinforcements are full HP, they're ready to fight, but I think we're okay. We've lost half of our forces so far, because we had 230, bear that in mind. We had 230 of some of the some of the best units and also some of the worst units. Apparently those guys didn't actually join the battle just yet, I don't think. And there you go. They actually did end up retreating into the keep, which is obviously not great. But that's okay, because we've now captured yet another fief from Rohan, which obviously is going to make a big difference. This is going to make an extremely, extremely big difference. So we are just going to be taking all of these. I'm just going to sell them because this is a town. Bear that in mind. This is actually another town. We're getting influence as well. Influence is really going to make a huge difference to us. I'm going to show you exactly why, if you don't already know. Then, boom, look at that. 25,000 experience. I am actually going to be donating to, because we have a pretty decent amount of, you know, money as it is. Did we actually capture any lords here? No, we didn't. Oh, very interesting. Okay, fine. I'm just going to ransom all the prisoners then. And we're just going to go straight on into the trade screen. We're just going to sell all these. Sell all those. Wow, okay, let's not sell all those then. Let's reset everything and just do this again, shall we? Okay, so let's just sell all that for 26. Sell a couple of these, and there we have it. All right, that's going to be good enough. Let's go and... I need to check out what's going on here. Okay, so the loyalty is... Whoa, this is actually much better built up than Grimberg is. So I'm actually pretty happy about that. Fortifications were actually going to be built in 100 days. Wow, that's an insane investment to take, actually, to be honest. Let's just get rid of all of that, and let's try to stabilize the loyalty so far. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. Prosperity's going... Well, Prosperity's actually doing very, very well, as you could see, because surplus food is actually a very underrated statistic. when it comes to increasing your prosperity. As you can quite clearly tell here, look at this. This means that you don't necessarily need aqueducts or anything like that. All you need to do is make sure that you have really, really good granary potentially, as well as some orchards, and then just make sure that your food supplies are insane, and then you're going to be probably pretty fine, you know? It feels like that to me, at least. Anyway, let's see what we can do here. I'm obviously going to level up some people. Wow, 26,000 experience got me 6 or 5 level ups. That is nothing. That is actually insane how few we were able to get there. Anyway, so this is where we currently are. Right? This is where we currently are. And you can see here that there are 2 castles. And the other castle has just been taken by Dunlendings as well, by the way. The one that we previously lost. And Isengard Outpost B has been taken back. So that's actually really, really good. However, Outpost A has also been recaptured, which is hilarious. Okay, so I'm actually wondering, when are they going to attack Helm's Deep? I would like to see it. I would like to see the siege. Yes, I would love to see that. But yes, we also have, obviously, Gondor, and they're all the way around here. I actually was unaware. I was very unaware of the geography. I'm not someone that really knows a huge amount about the geography of the world. So, me looking at this right here and being like, wait a minute. Gondor's lands are right next door to Rohan, basically? Kind of? I mean, apart from the fact that the mountain is obviously in the way. But there's this road, and it takes them all the way around here. I'm not sure if that's artistic license or anything like that, but yeah, it actually seems very, very cool. That is a very nice little thing there. So we don't really need to worry too much about Rohan being able to come up here, but we do need to worry about Gondor potentially. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have to be a little bit careful here. So let's see, we need loyalty. Loyalty. Yes, there we go, there we go. Town loyalty is increased by 1 per day. I will take that, thank you very much. And what else do we want? What else do we want? We want town loyalty, like massive town loyalty right here. So Imperial Towns, I think, yes, Imperial Towns, absolutely fantastic. This is incredibly good. We should probably also take bailiffs as well. Bailiffs sounds really, really good. I am going to be taking that as well. There we go. I think we should be completely fine now. Technically, we could also go by trial by jury. However, I don't have enough influence. Yeah. This is really, really good, though, in my opinion, as well. So, I mean, not as good as the other ones that I've taken, but very, very good. Let's wait here for some time and see if we receive any kind of, I don't know, retaliation. Maybe there will be. Alright, so it's time for us to go in under the cover of night, and, well, this is maybe going to make a bit of a difference to the accuracy of the opponent's ranged weapons, because obviously we don't have any, right? So this should be pretty good for us. Now the only concern is, oh wait, where are the, oh dear. Where are the openings for the walls? I think they must be around the sides. Oh dear. Well, actually, slightly good for us to go around the side here, because that means that the opponent will not be able to very, very easily utilize their archers at the front, because most archer nests obviously are at the front, because you generally want your people to shoot at the enemy as they arrive. But in this case, no, we might have the opportunity to sneak up on them. Yes, look at this. Hello there, friend. Oh dear. Well, yes, this might be a problem. This might be a bit of an issue. Oh, never mind. Oh, he got absolutely clobbered. They are just not even knowing. They are not even knowing what is happening right now. They are just allowing me to treat them any way they want. This is terrible. Well, shall we say any way I want? Maybe they want it too. I don't know, but yes. Hopefully we'll be okay, and hopefully 200 athletics is in my future. There it is, 199. 199, I'm going to try to use my superior speed. Oh, never mind, I was going to say. My superior speed to get away from them. But obviously, well, they ran away from me anyway, so because I guess it doesn't matter too much. Yeah, oh, see now, they're actually acting very, very cleverly here, because they know my axe is too large to really work very well in tight spaces. And this is very close quarters here. Very, very close quarters. Let's try to be a bit careful of this. Nice, I knew he was going to swing there. This fellow is not going to be able to block forever. And he's going to very easily... Yeah, they are done. And 200 athletics is now ours. That is great. Alright, the character build is now starting to fill out and get to its final stages, which is very, very nice. Now all I need to make sure that I do is get to 250 and two-hand it, which is maybe not going to take too long. I mean, it depends. Right now, generally the best course of action for me is just to continue trying to kill as many high-tier people as possible. I'm not entirely sure how high-tier these archers are that we're currently fighting, but all I can say is that if we're fighting people and not dying, that is all I can really hope for, to be honest. Because many times I have decided, oh yes, I'm going to go into battle. And as soon as I go into the battle, I get shot in the face by something or by many, many things. And then I die. And then I'm unable to earn any experience. It's very, very sad. So hopefully I will be able to... Oh, nice! Multi-kills. Multi-kills. Love it. Yes, this is exactly what we need. Thank you very much for coming out here and giving me all the wonderful, juicy experience. I very much appreciate that. Now, the only thing that I would love is if you could take me to your leader. Yes, take me to the general population where we can do even more damage, like these guys right here. Nice. The axe is very, very nice when it comes to killing multiple targets. Unfortunately, in these close quarter situations, not so much, not so much. So I'm going to actually get up here. Nice. Yeah, the axe is in a perfect location to get these headshots. And the question is, do I jump down here? No, I don't think so. It's basically, I think, a pointless exercise. If I go and jump down there, that's way too close quarters. I'm not going to be able to swing, and then it's just going to be, yeah, me just failing to get any kills. But thankfully, we are able to... Yes, we are able to get some kills here, and we leveled up as a result of that too. Very nice. And I believe that is pretty much it. I mean, this is much easier. This castle is much easier than the towns that we've taken, so we really don't have to worry too much about castles anymore by the looks of things. So I'm very pleased about that too, because that means that at the very least, most castles that we see that have a relatively similar garrison, from Rohan at least, they're actually going to be quite simple for us to deal with. We won't have to worry about them in a too great a manner, but we do have to be still careful about Gondor. Pretty sure they're going to be more difficult, because from what I've seen of their Gondor elite pikemen, and now no offense, right, but usually if I see a pikeman or anyone that you know primarily uses a polearm and doesn't really use anything else, and it's a thrusting polearm, I usually think to myself, yeah, this guy is easy, right? This guy is easy money. I literally don't have to worry. I can just go immediately at this fellow, and he's not going to have any way of countering me, and it's going to be, game over for him, pretty much. Now, that... obviously, coupled with the fact that the Gondor elite pikemen are actually much better than I think. Or shall we say, than I thought. Because previously, when we were in a field battle, I was fighting a handful of these guys. I wasn't fighting, a huge number of them. And they were staggering with how much damage they were able to do. Really, really very surprising. Very impressive, actually. Very impressive. And... well, lo and behold, that's the reason why I think that Gondor is probably going to be extremely difficult for us to deal with. Because if they have these kinds of Gondor pikemen, and they have them pretty much everywhere, because it felt to me like they weren't super, super rare or anything, so yeah, that's going to be a big deal. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to get Fairgrounds. It's going to take 17 days. We're not really losing any loyalty here, so I'm pretty much just going to leave everything as it is. Yeah, just gonna leave everything as it is. 20,000 in here. Probably should... I don't know. I think it would probably be good if I placed some more people in here, but I'm not entirely sure if I have the opportunity to recruit anyone nearby. I might be able to recruit from Fendel, maybe I can go over there and do that. But I am disorganized, and I do want to head on to the nearby castle relatively quickly. Okay, so I'm getting Rohan units. Not exactly pleased about that, but I guess it's alright. I guess it's okay. Now, obviously, because Theoden has now been eliminated, I wonder whether they are contemplating what to do. As in, maybe they're actually... Oh, no, they do seem to be besieging something, but they're besieging something very far away from us right now, so that's actually fine. But yes, I'm kind of in a little bit of two minds right here, because I'm actually not entirely sure what is happening with them. So let's actually just check on Rohan here. Okay, so this fellow is the new ruler, right? This guy is the new ruler here, and he has... yeah, he has decent steward skill, so he will be able to field a relatively large army, which I'm not very much looking forward to, but that's just how it is. He's not actually even part of King Theoden's clan or anything like that. He's actually a tier 3 clan, so his having 200 steward skill, that is the one thing that is basically saving him right now, because tier 3 clan, that is very, very small army sizes, basically. And if he is executed, by the way, if he is executed, then he's done, and his entire clan is done, unless this lady is out there. Yes, she's also a combat unit, so never mind. Don't quote me on that, because generally, quite a few of the clans that I know of in past times, when you get all the main vassals, all the ones in the front here eliminated, they then just cease to exist, basically. But they have 2 additionals, actually 3 additional vassals, and then they have 2 children. That's actually pretty crazy. So yeah, they are going to be much more stubborn to get rid of than I thought, but that's okay. That's all right. We're going to have a good time here. We're going to have a good time. Hopefully the Dunlendings will actually prove themselves to be somewhat of a good distraction. It's actually quite funny how they're being such a good distraction right now. Anyway, so as you know, we did get to 200 athletics, which means that I can now get the final point in vigor, which is what I wanted to do. And we also have another point of focus to spend, which I will probably just spec into scouting. I don't see a reason why we wouldn't do that. So let's do that. That sounds pretty nice. And wait a minute, where does this road lead? Ah, this road leads over here. Oh, I love them. I gotta say, I love the map. I love the way the map is designed, because I'm always thinking to myself, where does this road lead? And where does that go? And where does this go? And it always ends up leading us to a wonderful, wonderful place that provides us with additional strategic options. And I could potentially go through the pass over there, the mountain pass, and we could go all the way to Helm's Deep if we wanted to do that. Obviously, I'm not entirely sure if we're going to be able to pull it off, because Helm's Deep is obviously one of those, one of those very, very difficult to besiege places, but it would be fun to try. Okay, so we have a bit of a problem on our hands here. We have some people that I can indeed convert. That this is obviously not really our most pressing matter here, because what we have is only 13 days worth of food remaining. That is going to be a problem. We have taken down the walls, as you can see here, and the garrison was actually starting to starve, which, all intents and purposes, I actually did not want, but they basically just starved out as I was attempting to destroy the walls. Basically, the best thing we can do, from what I have seen so far in this mod specifically, is not starve the garrison out, because they just have so much food, right? If they had like, I don't know, 3-4 days worth of food, then that's just going to happen naturally. But I'm not doing it on purpose. If I were to do it on purpose, it would take us way too long to actually do that, and it does open up a handful of additional tactical options, because we do then basically have to go in. So we have to either destroy the walls, or we just have to go in really, really fast with very minimal thought to our own well-being, shall we say. But yeah, so basically we now have a situation, because what's going to happen is, once we take ownership of this place, we're going to have issues with the loyalty, because there's going to be very little food here. And, you know, that's through no fault of mine, of course, because I didn't starve them out on purpose, of course. But that is also something to bear in mind here. And that's also maybe the reason why what I'm going to do in future, whenever I do like a normal playthrough of something, or I play a different total conversion, or even in future playthroughs of this, I think I may actually not starve the garrison out. Because if I starve the garrison out, I'm going to be losing prosperity with my newly conquered fief. And if I lose prosperity with the newly conquered fief, I am going to be not too pleased, because basically that removes money from our pockets, pretty much. And while certain places are not really going to be affected super badly, because let's face it, there are definitely going to be certain locations that will be completely fine. I'm mostly talking about the capitals and various other extremely well-supplied areas. You know, those places are going to be completely and utterly unfazed by a little bit of starvation, especially if you do end up giving the marketplace some food afterwards. You know, after you're done with the conquering, of course. But, yeah, you know, it's food for thought. Haha, yes. Pun not intended in that case. But yeah, definitely food for thought there, and definitely something that I will take into account more often, at least, whenever I'm doing a siege. Because I personally would like to maintain prosperity as much as possible. I'm one of those people that really likes having a super tall city instead of a wide city, and obviously very much depends on what you personally prefer. It's the same thing with factions, really. I'm not a terribly big fan of spreading out massively. I personally like having a super strong city that provides me with pretty much every single little bit of profit that I could ever want, because I think that is just generally so much easier to deal with. You don't have to deal with any of the loyalty problems. You can more easily solve issues, as in tasks that need to be completed and so on. Really makes a big difference just having 1 or 2 towns to do that. Obviously, if you have some mods, like for example governors solve issues and stuff like that, you don't really need to worry about that, but obviously you need to install them separately. I don't think this mod has that included, or anything included at the moment. Maybe they're thinking about including some things later on. I think it has a mod config menu. I think it does have some other things, but I cannot remember for the life of me what they are right now. And I don't know actually how to access the mod config menu in the game, because on the main menu there is nothing, so I'm not entirely sure how to do that. But, you know, that's just me. I'm probably missing it somehow, or, you know, what have you. Anyway, that is indeed a victory for us. I'm not entirely sure where the... Ah, there they are. They're just standing there. And are they actually going to kill that guy sometime? Because as you can tell, I am actually speeding this up dramatically, and the opponent... Oh, I see. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. Alright, there you go. So we did manage to finally kill that guy, and otherwise, yeah, we're done. We're done here. Now what I need to do is I need to very quickly rush back to friendly territory and try to buy some food. I will try to buy some I will try to capture some rather expensive prisoners here, but not too many. I don't really see the need for that, and we're actually just going to move on otherwise. Yeah, okay, this sounds pretty good. Let's see, the prosperity is not so good. The food is going to be increasing over time, so that's actually pretty nice. Loyalty is not even terribly bad here either, so I'm actually pretty much liking that. It is going to take 25 days for the fairgrounds to be done, so that should be perfectly fine. And then I think we'll go over to Derworth here. Derworth would probably be pretty good. I think they probably have enough food. It might very well be that I should go back. You know what? I'll go to Grimberg. It's been a while since we've been there, so it would probably be a good idea for me to just stop by, see what's going on, and take a look at the loyalty specifically, because I cannot see loyalty on this. No, I can see loyalty. Oh, it's 95. What? It's actually 95? Wow. Okay, I'm very, very surprised about that. I thought, oh, it's going to be about 50 or 60 or something like that, and that's going to be more than enough, to do what we need to do. But yeah, it's more than likely going to be decreasing over time as we choose a building project. More than likely, at least. I would love to be able to get a governor as well that is basically a Rohan culture, but it's going to be extremely difficult for us to do that, in my opinion. Yeah, probably almost impossible. Okay, so let's see here. What do we want to do? Well, I'm thinking fairgrounds right now. It's going to take 15 days. I think that's probably relatively decent because it does give us that 0.5 bonus to settlement loyalty, which isn't actually going to help us that much, as you can see right here. However, it is going to help us quite a nice amount. And bear in mind that once we have really, really high loyalty, all these notables will be loving us, because you can see here already these fellows increase the relation to 12, increase relation to 6, increase relation to 4, to 7, and to 1. Well, 1 doesn't really help us, but you can see here, look how many people I can recruit from this place now, just purely because the notables are liking us because of the loyalty being so high. It really does make a big difference. Okay, so yeah, apart from that, what we should probably do now is we should probably consider the invasion of Rohan itself. And I'm talking about actually going into the deeper territories here. Now, this is obviously a little bit more on the front line. And so as a result, it's now going to be entering the danger zone, as it were. We're going to enter the danger zone, and it's going to be very, very difficult, because what's going to happen is we're going to be meeting armies that are 1,000 strong, maybe even more than that. And you really don't want to, you don't want to get caught by one of those. That's for sure. You really do not. Oh, they're making some really nice things here. They're making cheese. Wow, that's crazy. They're making cheese and butter. Wow, they are living lavish, aren't they? They are living very, very lavishly, or shall we say, a very lush life indeed. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, okay, I'll let myself out about that one. Okay, so yeah, otherwise, let's take some beer, and we'll also take some grain. That sounds pretty nice. And then we'll just sell all of this, sell all of that. There we go. Sounds pretty nice to me. And then we can move on to Rohan territory, and we can see exactly what's happening there. Obviously, if you take a look at the first fief that we come to, which is 4th Brond, you can see there that it is actually looking extremely, extremely good for us to take. Because it is, in fact, mostly a garrison. But the question is, how much food do they have there? Do they have a lot of food? If they have a lot of food, then this is going to be a pretty tough battle. They don't seem to have that much food, actually. They only have 250. That means they have not upgraded their granary at all, which is pretty nice. As you can see, in comparison, Goldberg actually has pretty decent food. Look at this. We've got some very, very nice food right there. We have a tier 2 granary. It seems like they might have a tier 1 granary, actually, at that place. So let's do another fairgrounds here, because that's going to only take 25 days. That's not going to be too bad, and the loyalty situation is doing very nicely, and it's just only going to keep getting better, you see. Obviously, we're not really needing loyalty in the castles to be super, super high or anything like that, because notables in castles, they don't provide you with any kind of troops, so it's not really necessary, but it's fine. Might as well do it, right? Might as well do it. There's no loss for us whatsoever there. And the only thing that we're really doing is just spending some time making sure that this thing does not get taken by any rebellion business. We really don't want that. Okay, yeah, we're almost at 175 in charm. I'd like to get to 275 in charm, but I'm thinking we're probably going to have to let some people go. We'll probably have to, capture some vassals and donate them to other people. That would really make a huge difference with the amount of charm skill that we're going to be getting. Anyway, okay, first of all, let's just take a quick look at our clan tier. We are clan tier 4, so we're not clan tier 5. All right, so that puts paid to my noble retinues plan. I wasn't actually thinking of that. Well, I kind of was actually, but anyway, let's go for Sacred Majesty right here. First of all, let's go for Royal Guard as well. That actually increases our party size by 60. I probably should have done that while I was still in friendly territory, but I'm a bit of an imbecile and I forgot about it, so there you go, that's what happens. And otherwise, let's just take a look and see if there's anything here for... we could go for trial by jury, to be honest. I mean, the security of 0.2 loss per day, that really does not make any difference for me. And we are still gaining a significant amount of influence every single time anyway. And you can see here that if I wanted to, we could go for magistrates as well, and that would increase town security. It would also reduce town taxes by 5%. The question is, do we care about 5%? No, I don't care about it. We can always, we can always remove it. We can always remove it whenever we want to, We don't have to worry about that at all. Same thing with this. Prosperity... no, I think we're pretty good. So I'm liking all of this. And now we have an army from Gondor. This guy is a Gondorian? Okay, that's very surprising. He seems to have a green banner, so maybe there are a couple of Rohan units in here as well. Or maybe he has defected or something? I don't think so. Surely not. Anyway, that is going to be it for this episode. We're gonna tackle this guy in the next one, that's for sure. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.